Yeah, it's gonna be a close one, I think, which is obviously great news for Kin if he can prey upon these aggro decks here. Although, even having said that, the Weapon Rogue being on both sides here, I feel like the Weapon Rogue for Kin is in like a slightly worse spot because he has to fight back against the likes of the Face Hunter on the other side. I don't know, it's gonna get super complicated. First matchup though is the Face Hunter up against the Weapon Rogue, and this is one that I've definitely traditionally been on the favor of the Face Hunter for. Because, I mean, Face Rogue, the Weapon Rogue is just not meant as an anti-aggro deck. It doesn't stack up that well.
I would agree. They send everything except the first couple minion hits towards the face, or the very first self-sharpening sword hit maybe hits a minion, and that's just about it. For Face Hunter, they have the ability to go wider in the early game, and also tall if they hit the Scavenger's Ingenuity, and the secrets can be a pain if the rogue does try and stick a minion off of Jandis maybe, that can just get frozen away. The opening mulligan for Alutemu is not so straightforward. However, it is kind of a package deal to keep the tour guide with the sharpshooter together, and also just another one drop smooths out the curve.
Yeah, it's really complicated, isn't it? Because obviously that's very powerful against most tempo decks, but this is stealth minions are pretty much the exclusive minions played in the early game. So Tour Guide plus Dwarven Sharpshooter becomes a lot less powerful when it's the likes of Spy Mistress and Sneaky Delinquent.
Yeah, it's true. With the second Dwarven Sharpshooter picked up, though, for Alutemu, he could just play them together and have the tour guide kept in hand for later on. But the opening curve for Kin is not so straightforward here. It's not often that I suggest a coin hero power, but I can see the merit for it.
I'm warming up to coin hero power. I gotta say, like, on turn 2, when you're expecting with a triple keep here, like, if you're expecting Phase Stalker, you have the kill with Eviscerate if you absolutely have to kill it with the dagger that you've equipped as well. I think this is smart from Kin.
If you're expecting exactly Phase Stalker, then the argument was coin Sneaky into hero power instead, I suppose. But
I guess
then,
so, yeah.
if it's not Phase Stalker, then the hero power into Sneaky does let you have a little bit more flexibility because you fit in 2 dagger charges across 2 turns. Okay.
Not terrible. But not great here from Alutemu, who's missed out on a lot of the meat of his deck and drawing secrets, kill command at this point. He needs something more impactful.
It's a very scrappy way of playing Face Hunter. I was even considering just shooting the hero power face there because it looks like the next turn is potentially very slow for Alutemu still. And Kin has news that that is not pack tactics, but the rest of the secrets he has no read on. Now he'll know it's not the snipe.
Yeah, of course, the one snipe that Alutemu is running. Yeah. So he's got himself down to a straight 50-50 now. Yeah.
And I think it's fine to freeze back the 3-1 in your hand, if only to make sure Krasunov, when it comes down, will be able to cleanly attack through. I think it's worth a 50-50.
Agreed. It's not like it makes room for another secret. If they have it, they have it.
Okay, Eagle Horn Bow. That's clean for Alutemu. It's not mana efficient, but he's ahead. And I am chucking this hero power face every single time.
You're just always going face here, right? Is he really trading here? Okay.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
This Kin just can't kill the 1-3s now.
I guess those 1-3s are going to attack for enough to make up for the missed damage.
The only draws off the top that make you wish you held the hero power are Polkelt and Dragonbane, I think. Every single other draw, you would want to play that down and hero power.
Well, not necessarily, right? Because you could get like the Phase Stalker and you want to go 2+3 and fit in the hero power. Like, goes a little bit deeper.
Even then, I think you would rather hold the kill command, just be able to weave it in every single turn. Because at the moment, Alutemu is straight top decking. So I want to spend every mana I can on hero power.
Right, I'm on board. And
this is the compromise, right? You kill the 3-3, but you send the hero power face.
That draw, though, for Kin is a disaster. Look how clunky this hand is.
Yeah. If you had 1-1 drop to combo out this Hook Scimitar, everything looks so smooth from here on out. But this is a disaster.
Double Abyss, Tempo Scimitar? Like, everything sucks.
It does. I think it's Scimitar. I don't.
Oh, I hate it so much, Gia.
I hate everything. I'm sorry.
Like, I think I'd rather go for just double Abyss here, even like. I know it's not good at all, but the Scimitar just does nothing. Like, you really want to combo it for next turn, right?
It somewhat cheapens the Dread Courser.
Right.
Okay, I think this play from Kin makes more sense because the first Eviscerate doesn't kill anything anyway.
Right.
So it's Jandis next turn.
Okay, decent draw.
Yeah. Alutemu's just getting him. And the Jandis, now he knows it's between Snipe and Pressure Plate.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the pack tactics he hasn't seen yet either, so... I mean, you're fine if Jandis gets sniped anyway.
You are fine, but you need to think about the potential to kill off some damage from the board here. It's obviously awkward that you can't fit in the Eviscerate and the Hooked Scimitar plus the Worgen on this turn.
Right. That's why I'm defaulting on Jandis look for Taunt or Rush. I think he's that far behind. Okay. Praying for not pack tactics. 1 in 3. That's the bad one.
That is the bad one. More damage, more secrets coming through, more charges on the Eaglehorn bow as well. I think Alutemu, despite having a pretty disastrous mid-game draw, might just crawl over the finish line here.
Kin's was more disastrous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if the Scavengers picks up the other Phase Stalker.
Both the secrets. Yeah.
Yep.
Never has lethal here, does he?
You can put Kin to 1. Actually, that's just better, right? Then you just hero power for guaranteed lethal the next turn.
Obviously,
and so the only way he loses if you go for that line is Jandis creating heal somehow, like Sandhoof Waterbearer.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's extremely unlikely, so I would just take the put Kin to 1 line.
Yeah, I'll take the 90% odds or whatever you're working at there to just win the game.
Put Kin to 2 rather, which might as well be 1 because you're Hunter.
Quickly.
He's like, how many 5-drops are there in the game?
Yep, the only one that stops you, right, is Sandhoof Waterbearer. There's no Rush lifesteals.
Nope.
And even then, there's still a board in play, right? Like, it would have to be Sandhoof Waterbearer plus a crazy Taunt or Rush as well.
Well, let's see. Not the obelisk.
Unlucky for Kin, and a nice win there for Alutemu. It was, I think he himself was thinking there, surely I'm losing this one. And then he saw Eviscerate Dagger on turn 4, which I think told him everything he needed to know about quite how disastrous Kin's hand was.
Yeah, that was an extremely clunky weapon rogue draw, and even though it looked very unfortunate for Kin, if we just looked at the matchups on paper, we did just kind of expect that to go face Hunter's way. So there's still chances to win this series as a whole. And for Kin, I think his best shot would be trying to sweep the mage from Alutemu.
Still looks that way, doesn't it? With the the warrior left over after the demon hunter was banned, the rogue, and I suppose the mage. Yeah, it's not going to be easy at all. But he can also potentially have a couple of good matchups against the weapon rogue. You know, if we treat bomb warrior as like a not terrible matchup here, with all the pirate packages got in there, it's obviously not what you're looking for, but he's in with a chance here of being able to turn things around. Is Kin, but it is still looking good for Alutemu. And overall, we need to remind the viewers that that is just the absolute end of the line for Kin and Rivius. If Alutemu takes the win here, it would be a pretty brutal back-to-back punch from our Japanese players in Possessi and Alutemu to just wipe out two of the players that we have been most impressed by in GM.
It's true. And I think this week is one of the few weeks where we might have seen more collaboration between Alutemu, Glory, and Possessi than previously. I think all
Yep.
three of them are bringing Face Hunter. They used to be a very united front in terms of the lineup they would bring in Season 1. They've deviated a lot more now in Season 2, but now's as good a time as ever for them to get back in the think tank and put together the lineup for the last week of Round Robin.
I mean, they were the 3 purple robots that they tweeted out that I think is a reference to some kind of like Gundam anime or something that I don't even know about, but I'm sure if you're Japanese, it's absolutely hilarious.
Kin with the stealth package keep, I definitely like that. And
There's the one drop.
That's a curve. Yeah. Okay, there's the one drop.
Yeah,
There
now
you
we're talking. Absolutely nutty curve from Kin. But honestly, not the worst hand either from Alutemu. Spy Mistress into Ashtung, probably to get a value trade rather than go face. It's a real tight battle for board control.
They have the curves on both sides,
Yeah.
but as it stands, Kin has... Well, he's going to have far more resources available to him. So I think Kin's in a better spot. Oh, arcane missiles? Hello?
Missiles! That's insane!
He doesn't unstealth anything because he knows Ashtung Slayer is a punish.
Oh, is he just gonna go sneaky and pass here? Imagine.
I think so.
Oh.
That's what I would do! Oh no!
That is brutal. Okay, so to be fair here, Self-Sharpening Sword is an interesting pickup. That does unlock the left side of your hand here. So coining out is something you can consider because you swing up to 2 attack, swing up to 3 attack on the following turn, which means 1 mana Dread Corsair plus Sneaky Delinquent that's a curve, right, still?
Yeah, it's a thing going into Steel Dancer, but the problem with that line, I think, is the Dread Corsair gets traded straight up by the Spy Mistress. And so I think on average what Alutemu does is better, but this hand from Kin... oh my god! Oh, okay, one thing survives.
That's fine. You're perfectly happy there as Kin. You can trade or backstab, whatever you need.
Yeah, yes, nothing ever survives. What was I talking about?
And it's a lot of damage. Alutemu, sorry, needs to instantly stabilize here, and that very possibly comes in the form of Self-Sharpening Sword plus Deadly Poison. He is going to take a monstrous amount of damage, but maybe with the perfect minion off Steel Dancer next turn, there's a route to salvation.
Yep, I'm thinking about Sound of Waterbearer again. What about that? But he will get the free Dread Corsair. It's for sure a big deal, and not... I mean, it's not impossible. Freaking though, I wanted to note that the One of One Thief, that's not a card you usually see in Weapon Rogue, but it came in super clutch here, and he consciously went for Worgen plus One Thief instead of just going on curve with the Sneaky Delinquent.
Now gets the
Dread
draw
Corsair
though.
now, yeah. Trying to save 3 HP, just put together a good enough Steel Dancer.
He's thinking about Delinquent instead to just fit the dagger in and take a nicer trade.
Or just play the other 3-1 he gets off
Oh,
of
sure,
these.
yeah. That's an
the
even
Death
better
Rattle.
idea. I like it a lot.
Me too. You've seen that Alutemu has been struggling with this type of board, and there's no way he wants to commit a 4-3 triple S into these 1 health annoying minions.
Needs to think about his options. I think, you know, without getting too complicated, you just take 4 drops are better than 5 drops here and pray that it's good enough.
5 drops are better than 4 drops.
Okay, that's a taunt. I guess it's not the worst minion, but it's not good. It's a grizzly.
Yeah, that is kind of the worst minion.
It's pretty bad.
For all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Okay. Does Kin just play another Spy Mistress here? He's not playing Weapon Rogue, he's playing Stealth Rogue.
Straight up, yeah.
I
mean, we're already...
I think you just play, all of the minions, send them all face.
Again, maximum tempo. We're looking at the outs now for Alutemu. We're looking at cutting class off the top, which he gets into maybe something, another Steel Dancer perhaps. Backstab isn't enough.
He only plays the 1 in his list, the 1 Steel Dancer.
Right.
So there's just no outs, no generation here. He's not playing the evil miscreants that Possessy seems to favor, and he doesn't have the one thief tech that Kin has. It's the lean version of the deck, but it will not get the job done today.
Well, he's alive on one. We'll give him that. Even with the Volpyra Toxin Blade, he's technically alive here.
Okay.
A cruel fate awaits you in the
Kin will have to
ashes.
do some trading now because Alutemu does have double eviscerates in the list.
Still alive! Still alive!
Yep. He can set up the deadly poison 2-turn, I think.
Uh-huh.
So if you send 3 to the face right now and 3 with the deadly again, then you have Volpera for the lethal, and you can remove 7 from the board so you don't even die to double eviscerate. But you can get a little bit screwed around by taunt.
In the form of Dread Corsair, I suppose.
So it might just be better to play Spy Mistress and Worgen instead.
Agreed. You always have the lethal next turn.
By putting down all of those minions, he can just get through second Dread Corsair if it's ever there, and he's also still not dead to the... I don't even know what combination of Alutemu's cards, just 3 of them on 6 mana, can make Kin not have the lethal on the next turn. So this is quite possibly just a good line as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it needed to be exactly double eviscerate and deadly poison off of a secret passage for there to be the lethal there for Alutemu. It was looking extremely unlikely, and it does mean Kin takes game 2. It's a big, big win there because both players got pretty respectable hands. And who knows, maybe if the Arcane Missiles hadn't come down for quite so devastating of a clear, this could have been a different game.
Yeah, I think it absolutely would have been, but now we have the Weapon Rogue out of the way for Kin, still available for Alutemu. And I think that it could really still just go either way because I've been worried about the mages on both sides more so than anything else.
Yep, Warrior against Mage, good matchup. Weapon Rogue against Mage, probably slightly closer, I think, but still, in my opinion, a slightly favored matchup. You obviously have to bear in mind that this is the higher aggro version of the deck, or the higher damage output version of the deck from Alutemu, so he still has the ability to go for Ashtongue Slayers, plenty of damage, which the Mage is generally very weak to. Even having said that, though, anyone's game, Kin fighting for survival here in Grandmasters. My heart is in my mouth, Gia. I cannot wait to find out who is going to be safe for another season and who is sadly going to have to go.
My heart's in my stomach. I've never heard the idiom heart in my mouth before, but
Is that not the expression?
I'll give you that one. Is it? I don't know.
Maybe that's my
Then
brain
again,
being
you
a
are
bit
an
weird.
English person. I've also never heard kettle of fish before, but that seems to be one of your favorite ones. So
I do love kettles
we
of
shall
fish.
move on.
Delicious kettles full of fish. It doesn't even make sense. Like, I guess a kettle means something other than what you boil tea in olden time days, and you put a fish in it. Whatever. Old people things. Don't know about that. But either way, with the Mage left on both sides, that does still feel like the linchpin for both of our players here going into the last couple of games. The next match is going to be Rogue up against the Warrior. And this is, I think, for Kin, the one he didn't want to face. It's still not devastating if the Rogue gets through for Kin, because as we said, this is Conquest. The weakest deck getting through is what matters. But it's still the worst of the two matchups for Kin.
Yeah, Weapon Rogue as an archetype, we have repeatedly said has a favorable matchup against Bomb Warrior, but it's been a hot minute since Bomb Warrior was including the Pirate package, and that could really turn things around. Not so much in the fact that they're able to clear the stealth minions, because even the previous version of Warrior still had Whirlwind to do that, but they can get on board while clearing. If the response to say a Spy Mistress is Risky Skipper into Armorsmith, that is absolutely backbreaking for the Weapon Rogue. And there's also just a sticky finger in here to steal away self-sharpening swords.
This is going to get interesting very, very fast. Both players with a pretty respectable hand here, and Alutemu with the damage right out the gate. This is not a hand that at the moment lasts very long, but it does a lot before it goes out.
And so, does he just say Ashtung and go?
think I like Delinquent here more. Like, obviously you're afraid of Skipper coin minion, or just Skipper, but that feels pretty unlikely at this point in the game.
There's also coin Blade Storm, which I think you would
True.
pretty happily take as warrior. I don't know.
Good points.
But it's fair to think that this is the most likely time that you are likely to connect with a 1 health minion to the face. And if it sticks, then you get to double up on the damage with the Ash Tongue Slayer.
Oh, Kin's looking at the curve, I think, of coin upgrade to take out the minions, and then you go Corsair Cache to try and find the... to try and find the Ankar, I suppose, to find the pirate. I think I like saving it here, but it's close.
It really is. I mean, this is just not the hand that's built to beat Stealth Rogue. This is the hand that loses to Stealth Rogue when you hit the aggressive portion of your deck instead of the defensive one. I think I like the coin upgrade, honestly.
Really?
Just something.
Like, for all he knows, there's still a weapon in hand. Like, he wants to keep the opportunity for coin Sticky Finger. He wants to keep the opportunity to just get the Wrench Caliber down as well as just to start swinging against the board. I don't know.
I mean, I don't like it anymore this turn, but if you had upgrade into upgrade, that's 2 swings before you necessarily want to play the Wrench Caliber anyway. I don't know. I think he could have saved himself a ton of damage here. If it was coin upgrade last turn, we could have seen Hero Power Shield Slam this turn.
Is this just play a 4/4 on this turn?
Yeah.
I really don't want to backstab my own guy.
Neither do I.
Good talk.
You could play a 2/2 Hook Scimitar? Because the amount of damage you remove with backstab is the amount you're buffing the Hook Scimitar anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
the synergy obviously kicks in once you get Steel Dancer on 6, but that feels like you've either won or lost the game by turn 6 anyway. I'm not thinking that far ahead at this point.
I like this line. Feels awful. Okay,
Shield
so
block,
shield block,
slam.
shield slam.
Good.
Yeah, going for the hit before the armor. Good order. The other downside of running the pirate list, if you want to look at it that way, is you can't play sword in boards.
Yeah.
Or no space for it, rather, which would have been very useful here for Kin. Jandis every single day of the week here, right?
Yeah, molto Jandissimo. Wow,
He's
really?
going triple S? Okay.
Playing around the brawl, I guess, would be the thinking there.
Maybe.
I want minions on board.
You can still get a minion with the Spectral into self-sharpening and attack from 2 fronts, but I think that Alutemu's minion-based game plan has been so strong up till now. He has solid reads on no Blade Storm and no Skipper.
Yeah, I mean, things get more complicated. Like, if we start talking about the amount of attacks you get in, obviously the sooner you play minions, the sooner they get to attack face. But you have a lot of weapon swings to get through, which kind of functions in the same way, right? You still need to get the weapon swings through.
Fair. Anyway, if he was going to go for Stealth Minion plus weapon, I do like the Scimitar better than the Triple S.
Right.
The game is not going that much longer. That was much needed draw for Kin to clear off the 5 damage, but Alutemu was 1 Eviscerate away.
Oh, so close. So close.
Jandis, see what's in the box?
Yeah, Jandis, then Deadly Poison to hit a couple of the benefits you get off spells being played.
And by now you have a hard read on no Armorsmith, right? It would have come down instead of the Horde Pillager with a hero power, I think.
Uh-huh.
So, swing Vase.
Uh-huh. Agreed.
And no need for the Deadly Poison, I think.
Yeah, save that for the self-sharpening sword.
Well, there's a Skipper, so they're gonna find out one way or another.
Yeah, but I think you put the... the illusion minion on Faceless Lurker, because then they have to, like, attack in the 4/1 first, right? Lest it just be killed.
Yeah, I agree. Because of Skipper, Kin will want to trade the 4/1 before playing any other minion, and it can only go in the taunt. So I agree, it should be on the Lurker. Swing face, yes, be brave, Alutemu. They would have played Armor Smith if they had it instead of the Horde Pillager. And now, what can this get? There is just a Barov hero power here,
Yeah, the clear's there no matter what.
and then you just upgrade Swing Face.
Someone's gotta lead the
Okay,
charge.
maybe this is slightly better. Oh, it's so tense. Alutemu has... Hello?
Dread Corsair!
But you can't fit in the hero power. Oh!
Is it Hero Power or Dread Corsair? I don't even know. Oh, it's got to be Dread
It's
Corsair,
an
right?
Eviscerate, right?
But then you're dead
But
to Abyss.
Eviscerate... Yeah, I think you hero power now, and then Dread Corsair the next turn, and you technically fit in more heal that way across
Okay.
time. It's... Oh, I don't know, Derek.
He's just dead
Maybe
to
he
the
had the
Abyss.
read. He had no read on Abyss in hand, or he had a read on no Abyss in hand. 'Cause
Yeah.
it would have been lethal last turn. So
That's fair.
not playing around the top deck. Oh my lord, this is so close. Ashtung is not it.
Oh, I think it might just be enough for Kin here. I think he's got over the line.
The Galakron just gives him so much HP, but the self-sharpening,
The Sticky Finger, though. Sticky Finger
Oh,
Hero Power
right.
next turn is
It-
back-breaking.
it does just get yoinked. So do you ever backstab hero power this? Ugh. Then
You
miss
can't live in that
a-
world, right? You just can't.
No. The thing is, he never gets to connect damage to face, so by delaying the self-sharpening sword, you lose only 1 damage across time. I don't know, Derek.
There's one Sticky Finger in the deck. You have to just play the Self-Sharpening Sword, right?
Yeah, maybe backstab self-sharpening and then just hold the deadly in case they have it. Because you can still deadly face next turn anyway.
Sure,
Yeah, I think
okay.
this is the line.
Okay.
And he still has an out if it's just Sticky Finger armor up. Like, it's Deadly Poison Eviscerate.
Yep. He's still in the game.
And as for bombs in the deck, there are currently 4 in Alutemu, so a swing from Kin sometimes just ends the game too. Sticky Finger armor up in the deck for Alutemu. There are 2 secret passages, 2 eviscerates, 2 cutting class. Cutting class is too slow though, I think. Ay ay ay.
How much damage is that now?
He's just dead, right?
He's
Okay.
One
he's
off?
alive on board at 1? Yeah, okay.
got 1 HP. So, Worgen Infiltrator with the Ashtung Slayer next turn. If there's no way to kill the Barov, potentially gives lethal?
From Alitemu's perspective, but we
Right.
can see this Corsair cache for the other Wrench Caliber. That's just GG.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this got so close.
Oh no, but it could be Ankar, right? It could be the
Oh,
Ankars.
right.
So it's not guaranteed
Ah.
lethal?
You're correct. There is 1 Ankar in the deck.
So does he just
So-
go for Galakron?
For the 5, I think Galakron has better odds than a 50-50, right?
But then you're leaving the minion on board. Like, if you Bladestorm, then you actually get the clear.
The minion is 2 damage. Okay, sometimes it's 5 if you have the read on Ashtung, but Galakron is 5 healing, so
Right.
I think it's just Galakron here. And then Alutemu wins? Is it the 50-50? Oh my
Oh
god,
my
I don't
God.
know. I don't know. I have no clue. He could go Corsair, and if he misses Bladestorm Hero Power? Bladestorm Hero Power?
That's what he's got to do.
Yeah, he has to. And he technically still has lethal next turn with the Galakron Hero Power. So, this is just the line. Blow up your board and heal. Yeah.
Alutemu isn't playing Toxin Blades. He needs Deadly Poison. He needs Eviscerate. He needs Secret Passage. He needs the win right now.
I can't look.
Oh!
And he can't kill the sticky finger without face tanking it, so that's just game for Kin.
Just game.
What a close one. Down to the wire there. Kin, there were so many close spots from him from the very beginning. Was it upgrade just to clear some minions? I still think that was probably better on average, but not sure. But towards the end, Kin's line, it took us so long to decide, but I think he absolutely took the best odds of either Corsair Cash and you don't hit the 50-50 and then you can still survive into Galacron Lethal the next turn, or 50-50 you just win straight up.
Yeah, I think it was definitely the highest odds chance of being able to take the win. Doesn't make it any easier on my heart, though, I will say, despite it being correct. Still absolutely nail-biting Hearthstone from our players here. Alutemu trying to fight to guarantee himself that spot not in the bottom two, whereas Kin here, again, if he ends up taking the loss here, he is going to be relegated out of Grandmasters. One single deck left to take the win with in the Tempo Mage, but as you have been so thematically leading up to in a great storyline here, Gia. It's the weak deck left over for Kin here, and also the weak deck left for Alutemu with the mage on both sides.
Indeed. I guess it's not so much a weak point for Alutemu if it's just a mirror that his mage could potentially have to go through, but the Weapon Rogue traditionally has a pretty good matchup against Tempo Mage ever since they were cutting the natural arcane missiles from their list in favor of the Violet Spellwing. It means that the stealth minions tend to be able to connect face or at least stick for Grey Heart Sage to go off. And that is a very, very big deal. It seems like Alutemu is queuing up his rogue first.
Yeah, doesn't really matter at this point which way he's going to go about it, but just wants to finally take a win with the rogue. He's lost with it twice now already this series after having won with the hunter in game one. Is it just going to be 3-0 swept? This is a constant debate we've been having about the weapon rogue. It's not a tier 1 deck at the moment in the game. It is in most cases weaker than the equivalent of secret rogue or just another class entirely, but it does do pretty good against the likes of the bomb warrior in particular, some of the slower archetypes. And it also does pretty well when you draw a hand like this from Alutemu.
Yeah. This is what he had been missing in the earlier games. The curve, the Spy Mistress into Grey Heart Sage, into Self-Sharpening Sword. But Kin's hand is pretty dang good too.
Wow.
And it just got better.
It's pretty insane. Yeah,
Wow, he gave... I thought he was going to
there.
go Cram Session, yeah. Just take the guaranteed.
Yeah, I did think so there. He's leading himself up to a pretty good turn with the lab partner Sorcerer's Apprentice mirror image cram session, but instead he's just tempoing everything out onto the board here. This is maximum development.
This might be a stroke of genius from Kin. I would have taken my cram session 2-mana draw 2 and been happy with it, but this is a prime opportunity for Kin to go wide on the board while it's still awkward for the weapon rogue, while they don't have all the license to go face just yet, and he is giga rewarded here.
He really is. This could have been the turn for Apprentice here. I honestly wouldn't have hated it to try and stick it with the mirror image. It would have been in keeping with his high-tempo game plan there, but he's clearly got bigger plans for the Apprentice.
It's just because of backstab that you can't necessarily expect it to stick behind taunts, I suppose.
I kind of still liked it, I've got to be honest. I think that unless you're hitting exactly like the ultimate evocation hand, Apprentice is just better on board. And mirror image as well, just being on the board. It doesn't just protect the Apprentice, it protects the rest of his board, which has now just been chewed through.
Fair, but we can see from Alutemu, he's held onto this backstab, even though it could have landed on the One Thief because of, I think, exactly the threat of Apprentice coming down for tempo at any point in the game. For Kin, he can just go... I mean, Lab Partner into missiles is very high odds to deal with the Grey Heart, and even if you get unlucky slightly, you can just put the One Thief in there. Giving up missiles feels a little bit awkward because of, you know, stealth minions being able to come down later on too, but I feel like we're past the point where Alutemu's gonna spend his mana on 1 health minions.
He's just so all in on developing these minions here. It does, in a way, obviously force Alutemu to go with the trades, but honestly, I think Alutemu's quite happy to keep up with the trades here. Like, he can play a strong hand on this turn, lead up to a strong Steel Dance, and maybe even on this turn.
Yep, for a 3-cost minion. He's committed to holding on to this backstab. I think it is super disciplined. Oh my god. That's the 3-drop as well.
Yep. Yes, it is. Well, I suppose Injured Blade Master is the 3-drop, but that is the draw from Kin. This is what saving the apprentice was good for. I was hesitant about the play at first, but the reward now has come into play.
It's gonna have to be a pretty spectacular Cyclone. Kin is upset about where these missiles went. I guess the Greyheart survived. Oh, Kin put the 1 Thief in, but it doesn't feel good. Side quest. Okay, Rain
Pretty
Freeze.
good. Pretty good.
He just has the full clear with the Arcane Explosion.
Yep, that's insane.
But doesn't have much to do afterward. Top deck of an Elemental is huge for him next turn, but Alutemu held on to this backstab so diligently. He has the clear on the Apprentice. Getting through the taunts this turn, it has to be a miracle draw for him.
Any elemental, that's what we're looking for, completing the side quest. Literally any single elemental.
Mana Giant playable by this point. Uh-oh. Now you have to Apexis the Krasinov. So slow. Oh man.
He's just
Kin's
losing on
gassed out.
value.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Alutemu has no shortage of it whatsoever. Oh my goodness. Back.
Yeah,
I
just
mean,
look at
Deadly
this.
Poison, all the stealth minions. Next turn, Secret Passage.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're potentially afraid of it being Flame Strike, which is why this spell hasn't been played yet off of the Cyclone, but obviously you're not playing around that. You're just going all in here because you're so likely to take the win at this point.
And he kind of just does refill, even if it's another Arcane Explosion or something on this. You could just play the other 2-3 ones you get off of the Delinquents.
Oh, okay. AI, that's a card.
Yep. You wish you were in a good enough spot to take Crossbow, but he simply is not.
Yeah.
This is so much damage. It's like 19 already this turn.
Yeah, he obviously has to be afraid of Flame Ward. It's not likely because it was just a straight up random secret, but it would be devastating, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see some trades
It's pretty cool with the Ash Tongue, right? You can still get the re-attack in with the non-immune minion if it's Flame Ward, and then go with the immune minion.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah. So is it Passage this turn, or just equip the Hook Scimitar? I want to equip the Hook Scimitar after attacking place.
Also thinking about Counterspell here, right, as well. Like, how bad is it if that gets Counterspelled? How many spells does he have to draw in his deck to try and deal with the Counterspell anyway?
Well, it's not like he can play around CS either way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or if you think it's CS, it's better to hold on and potentially draw something to proc and then go Passage.
Right, yeah.
So
I'm just saying how likely is that?
10 mana on the re-equip.
3 to face. Nothing happens.
Oh, it's
6
like,
to face.
And he's like, sweet. Or
So he's pretty much...
It's just sad that he missed 2 damage.
Right, yeah, exactly. Pretty much 100% now on the 3 of Counterspell, Spellbender, and Netherwind Portal, all of which are fine for him here. He's still in a winning position. A taunt comes down for Kin to potentially buy him that time to find the miracle draw.
Well,
But he
Kin's
doesn't
not
even think
taking
it's
it.
good enough.
Yeah. Alutemu doesn't play Saps either. I was definitely looking at the taunt here. But I'm not sure why it wasn't Solarian Missile.
Just wants to save it for when they're not frozen.
Okay. That's
Like-
GG.
Go. Yeah.
Wait a second. Wait. If he thinks it's CS, then he wants to proc it with the Passage to get the Eviscerate. But it's not CS, so he doesn't necessarily have lethal. That's weird.
And because he attacked first, he now doesn't have Deadly Poison Lethal. That was a... He'd
I don't
already
know.
attacked phase.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a botched turn from Alutemu, to be honest.
And plunder.
Yeah, the
Like,
order
He clearly anticipated it to be counterspell and just win the game, but you can't make that assumption here.
I'm still not sure if it's better if with the information you're given to proc with passage or with CS.
Yeah, but it's definitely wrong to swing first there, right? Like, he'd
Correct,
already
yeah.
had all the information from swinging with the minions.
Yes, correct. So there's still no out for Kin, but you hate to see it end that way.
Doomsayer doesn't do it.
One Maker, one Thief, Ice Barrier doesn't do it because Eviscerate's still there. So it's like, see, now he needs the CS, but then there's still a weapon. There's no out.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs Eviscerate to not be there, and then he has a chance, right? Because he can get the Taunt and all the missiles to clear the board.
One Maker Evocation into Barrier CS. No, it's not enough.
Okay.
Just going for the taunt instead. Oh, it was a evocation.
Oh! Could have actually gotten, like, exactly... Oh, no, he wouldn't have had mana to go for the counterspell, plus
Yeah.
the Ice Barrier. Either way, Alutemu does take the win with the Rogue. It's what we've been saying, Gia. The Mage, the weak spot here, and Kin... You know, I kind of disagree with some of the plays about how much he should be playing for tempo in the early game, but to be fair, my line was, like, even more high on tempo, even lower on value. And the thing he was missing in the end was just value. It was making sure that he had enough stuff to spend his mana on every turn, which he just did not have.
Yeah, I did like the way Kin approached the early game there for sure. For Alutemu, that is one of the rare blips we see in
Yeah.
at least closing out the game there. I don't think he lost any percentage because he was pretty much locked up to win on the next turn no matter what. But oh man, when the stakes are this high, I really hope he can pull it together for the very last game, which could decide whether Alutemu stays in Grandmasters. And Kin too.
It could indeed. Again, if Kin loses here, end of the line. He is sadly going to be eliminated, relegated out of Grandmasters after, I mean, what for Kin has been, I think, considering the level of play, kind of a disappointing run through Grandmasters, if I'm being honest. Not because of his level of play being poor. I'm saying because of how well he's been playing, we would expect the results to have been better. He was bottom of the Division A last season, bottom of Division B this season. It's gone from not great to worse for him there. And I'm kind of left struggling to come up with a diagnosis as to why that's happened.
I mean, my best guess is this is just not the kind of meta that Kin truly shines in. Earlier on, we were seeing him bring Priest, I believe, which is a deck where he absolutely gets to showcase the best of his skill set, which is parceling out value, making sure that he has the late game lockdown. Fatigue situations, Kin would have that in the bag. But now that the APAC meta has settled and Priest has really gone off the radar because so many people are playing decks that have good matchups against it, maybe Kin has struggled a little bit to come together with a different strategy. But it's not all over yet. Closing things out with a Tempo Mage Mirror, the APAC special.
Indeed, yeah. And although some players, I think, here would be advocating for keeping the cram session, I think for Alutemu on his side, while there's argument for Spellkin Arcane Breath, because that's very powerful, I think I just want proactive minions to throw down in the first few turns.
I haven't played the dragon version in so long, but I would also agree that you would just throw everything here. The Arcane Breath with the Cobalt Spellkin, it's synergy, but I think it's a bait because you are just playing 1 mana, deal 2, and then discover something. It's not that much better than a 1 Thief, and 1 Thief is not a keep either, I would say.
I definitely agree with you there. I like the mulligan from Alutemu. I also like the draw that Kin has got himself here, which is looking very fine indeed.
Oh, yes.
I will crush your delusions of grandeur.
Going for maximum tempo. I'm not entirely sure about this because you just gave them a missile, so there's a chance that everything just gets cleared.
Right. However, on the other side, though, Alutemu has just generated Evocation with an Apprentice and now has a Cyclone as well. This is going to start popping off in the next few turns. I think I like just starting off with missiles here. Like, you can go for the ping to clear if you have to, and maybe even just go 1 Thief to follow up as well.
Sure, the guaranteed Ray of Frost.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. Ray of Frost to kill the Solarian and then just value trade the lab partner is very strong as well.
I think I like Explosion. I think that can get some good work done in the mirror.
Yeah, if you have a single spell damage, it is extremely relevant. And while he doesn't have it now, it's safe to assume you'll draw one in the near future or generate something off of Primordial Study, something like that.
Yeah.
Possible. I don't think this is the matchup to take it. But it's worth noting that after having used double Ray of Frost, which he does this turn, you don't always have single target removal.
True. Yeah, having an answer, sorry, to just like tempo Shenvala here, if nothing else, well, speak of the devil, is pretty powerful here for Alutemu, of course.
Oh, but is that the play for Kin?
Not necessarily.
There's, yeah, a bit too much damage left on board to justify it. But this is all kind of the legacy of him not cram sessioning on 2, which I was in favor of because he knew that Alutemu had a missiles in hand and was kind of likely to deal with both the Solarian and the lab partner.
Am I crazy here for wanting to go lab partner missile cyclone on this turn?
Not at all. Not at all. That seems like a good way to partition resources, right?
Right, I want a 2-2 on the board, and to be perfectly honest, I don't see Apprentice, Evocation, and Cyclone working together that well.
They don't, generally. I guess worth noting that if you hold all of them together, then the 1 extra mana can make things a lot smoother for Alutemu the next turn.
True. And like just
there are worlds where you, if you parcel out the combo in the way you laid out, that you run out of value altogether.
Is this really the turn for Apprentice Evocation?
I think this is a pretty clean Cobalt.
I think I like both the other options. Yeah, I like it. Like, I was looking at Cobalt Spellkin, obviously, on this turn, on 5 mana, just being fairly strong. I was also looking again at, like, Missiles, Frostbolt, Mana Cyclone, just to get it on the board. But I think the 1 mana spells here, like, you can just go for an Apprentice Cyclone turn and maybe just avoid the Evocation for the moment entirely.
That is what I think the hand has shaped up to look like with the Cobalt Spellkin draw. Now you have enough of the other spells that aren't Evocation to charge up the Mana Cyclone, and then you can just keep the Evo in your back pocket. But for Kin, finally gets on board, he can freeze away the Cobalt Spellkin, make it as difficult as possible for Alutemu to get rid of the Shenvala.
It's just 1 mana off being good in like a couple of ways. Like, you can't get the double activation, you can't get the Mana Cyclone down. Instead, he's just going for 1 activation plus a Solarian. It's strong, but I don't know if it's game-winningly strong, especially against this turn from Alutemu.
It is time.
Font, sign me up.
Raz,
sign me up.
Not legal by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, he was hovering Evo. I don't think this is an Evo turn. I think it's the everything else turn. Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, going for this, and then the missiles. I'm not sure if it's 1 Thief into Cyclone, or if it's Cyclone and leave yourself 1 mana so you can potentially play a generated Explosion or something. Just gonna see where the missiles go first. Okay, now I think...
Whoa.
What? No! You can hardly do anything with the Evo.
Yeah.
Point, right?
I really like holding the Evocation here.
Oh!
Nutty. Absolutely
Icicle
nutty Arcane
and
Breath.
they're both clears.
Ooh. Avalanche
go...
is active next turn.
I think you go Icicle instead of the Arcane Breath because you played Dragon. This turn.
Okay. I don't want to get the 1 Thief down, but this is fine. It's small differences.
Oh no. Kin just doesn't have the synergy.
It's not coming together for Kin.
And because he's used all these spells, even an Apprentice off the top will not be doing very much whatsoever. But he does unlock, at the very least, Mana Giant into Conjurer's Calling. Apprentice is left up. Oh no.
Yeah, the out for him is obviously Giant Evocation. Oh, sorry, Giant Conjurers. But with Animated Avalanche into Giant on this turn, is anything big enough to get the win with Mana Giant Conjurer's Calling next turn?
Double Turalian?
Oh.
I don't know. You can't even kill the apprentice if you're doing that.
Right.
One walking fountain, one Turalian, maybe stay alive.
Yeah, big
I'm
taunts like
reaching.
double Tyrion, Turalian. Tweedledum and Tweedledee. I'm not even sure at this point for Kin.
Yeah, whittle your thumbs, but there seems to be no way out of this. I can't even go for an evocation. Okay, never mind. That's the way out. I forgot about the prime.
For his life in Grandmasters, this is the prime. He needs to succeed.
Okay, good start.
Woo.
Very good. Very good outcome. Not relevant. Very relevant. Hello.
Oh my
This
god,
is
Gia.
surely dead this time. But can he kill the giant? He cannot. So
Oh,
Kin just has evocation? I mean, Alutemu has evocation?
what can he hit though? Like he can't hit lethal. He can hit freeze, I guess is what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think freeze is huge. Blizzard or Frost Nova.
Yeah, he's got one thief to follow up as well for a backup if
Uh-huh.
he doesn't hit.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Evocation. For 4 spells. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if he
You gotta
plays
take it.
anything other than the one thief first, then he just doesn't have mana necessarily to go Blizzard. He's all in on the Nova
Yeah.
or Ray of Frost.
Oh, mirror image?
Mirror?
That blocks some damage at least.
I thought he was supposed to go one thief first because of Nova.
I thought so too.
Time runs out on me.
But this way he gets the Shanvala activation?
He can go one
I
thief
think...
first here and then play
Yeah.
2 1-mana spells if he has to.
Right. I think you still go one thief because of Ray of Frost.
What to do?
He just needs to freeze these big boys. Going Bender instead to deny the other half of Conjurers. Okay, he's at 28. This is fair. Oh man.
Oh, this is gonna be so close. Kin's got the Conjurer's Callings, obviously. He's got Polymorph, I guess you go for on this turn. And then trade Conjurer's Calling, but there's the Spellbender in play.
There
Maybe
is,
that's
there
the
is.
winning card for Alutemu.
I wonder.
So are you meant to conj first to play around Spellbender or Poly
Oh.
first?
I don't know.
I think it's conj first. Like trade. The Solarian goes in the 5/5. You conj the Solarian. If it doesn't go off, then you
What to
Poly
do?
the Giant, and then
To
oh
do.
man, you leave up a Shanvala. Ah!
Just like you.
You can still do everything this turn, right? The 2. Oh,
Okay.
Vaporize?
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. He's trying to isolate the giant, I suppose? Or just any individual big minion?
Okay, but it's not gonna work against Spellbender. To be fair, that's probably one of the least likely secrets on your mind. And there's technically not lethal on board.
Yep. He can deal with the... sorry, he can obviously deal with the Vaporize here by attacking with the 1/1 first.
Mhm.
Correct. He can hit
Correct.
Fireball for lethal off of the One Thief. He can just hit Frostbolt for lethal off of the One Thief.
Are you meant to proc the one thief with Raz or with Apprentice?
I don't know.
I think it's Apprentice because you can still Raz after that if you don't hit a
Yep.
good spell off the
Okay.
one thief. Or is it ever just Arcane Breath, the Apprentice? Oh my god, there's just too many decisions.
Flame Strike? It's playable because of the mana reduction. Is that even good though?
I don't think it is. You leave so many
Fill up
scrolls
with one
on the
ones.
board.
Yeah.
Oh man. I would trick. I would look for lethal. Yeah.
Oh!
Time runs out on me.
Missiles? Potentially lethal? Probably not though.
Probably not. But it might be the best he's got. And it's another activation on the Raz. He's He's sending it all face.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
This
no,
is
he's trading.
so
He's trading
close.
for Raz.
Trading?
Okay. Interesting.
Well, I mean, that's good, right? That's what
Yeah,
you want to do with
yeah.
Raz. He clears off all the 1/1s.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, Kin has the conj. Another shot with the giant. VTing the 5/5 instead of Raz is, I guess, better for the immediate next turn.
Those are not very good.
They are not. Does he conj again or does he Apexis Blast the Apprentice?
You've got to go again, right? You can hit such big minions.
Yep. Taunts. Walking Fountain. Oh my god, there's just a box on the other side. Walking Fountain! Hello! Oh my god! It's gonna be a box!
It's gonna be the box, Chia.
I can't believe this.
Oh my god, I can't watch.
He's attacking first. He knows what's up. Oh, Kin's eyebrows have left the building.
Not very good. Not very good.
Oh, they're just tickling the minions. Is that draw? It's 3 draws.
Something. He needs more. He needs more.
Not it. Oh, it's all just been little tickles on the minions. Where are the flame strikes? That's a big one.
Woo!
But wait, it's a little bit short. Is that it? Everything's left at 1 health?
Oh my god.
Oh, but Raz! I forgot
Raz
about Raz!
activates, but it still summons a 7 drop. That's an insane one as well. 6 damage at the end of his turn.
Priestess of Fury. Hello?
Oh my
Ping first,
god.
play around, never surrender. Okay.
Yep.
Then he'll know the secret, then he can trade off the Raz.
You don't pick the ones.
Dear Lord, this has been stressful. I
And a
think Kin's
Cyclone.
gotten over the line.
I think he might have done.
But he's still a ways off from dealing lethal to Alutemu. Alutemu has cram sessions to draw into evocation. Or magic trick to get evocation.
Oh, he's dying so fast though. Cram Session's drawing for 2 now.
There's no more apprentices in the deck.
Evocation, I guess, for next turn.
Okay. Likely to be able to kill the priestess at the end of this. Oh, wait, fireball? You just take that, you chuck it face, and just say evocation next turn is lethal?
That has to be your best chance of winning here, right?
I don't know.
He's still
Leaving the priestess
relatively
off is-
healthy.
What to do?
Uh,
What to do?
You can take the fireball and not necessarily play it this turn. Like, we could see magic trick instead.
Time runs out on me.
Evo? Surely
wanna-
not.
I want a trick. I want a trick. Look for arcane explosion. Okay, he's going
forward.
Oh man, I don't know about the cyclone. I feel like it counteracts the Evo plan. But it's really tough.
If he'd gone with the other line, he was potentially just dead. He would have, I think, just
Yeah.
ended up being dead if he'd launched the Fireball face. Because all
Yeah.
it needed was a clear on the minion. Like, I guess if it's just a single clear needed to be dead, he probably made the right call there.
I'm fine with taking Frostball, but I really don't know about the cyclone.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Kin is setting up a lethal of his own next turn. Alutemu can sometimes devolve damage away from the board, not necessarily enough, but we're looking for freezes here. There's just no space. Trick? Frost Nova?
Yep, I like starting with Trick. Feels like the highest individual chance to hit Nova.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And then if you do hit it, then it's like Cobalt Spellkin plus the Violet Spellwing.
Yes.
But he did not hit it, so we're Arcane Breath going
Cane
again.
Breath, yep.
Oh, it's so tense.
Another
freeze?
box! Oh,
Wait. I don't know what health Alutemu was at. It's not enough. Yeah, okay, it's box.
he needs
The
a way to
deck
survive.
just-
Icicle does not freeze.
Time runs
He
out
has
on
one
me.
more trick in his deck and one more
Go,
arcane
go,
breath.
go, go, go.
Yeah. I don't know what the odds are.
That's another spell. You've got to go quick, Alutemu. You've got to go so quick. That's Frost Nova! That's
Oh
the
my
Nova!
god. He stays alive.
Oh,
And for Kin, what are the top decks for Kin? He has another Prime in his deck. He has that, I suppose.
that can't hit lethal though individually, right? It's one
It
off
can't.
with Fireball.
Mm-hmm. Just okay. He's given himself insurance for the next turn, but there's just another box.
Again,
It's
Gia.
always.
Prime into box to fight for their lives here.
There's just no way to make enough room with the evocation, I think. I would just play the box. And pray.
What to do?
Just gotta believe.
What to do?
I'd go box and then giant if you're not dead yet.
Yeah. Like, you
Oh,
know, Shadow
no.
Flame Brawl, you can argue Giant first is the way to go, but I think you just gotta pray box does what box does.
What
The
to
other
do?
line is to just
What
try
to
and make
do?
room for Evo, but it's too late now. It's too late. He's
Oh
taken
my
too much
God.
time. Oh no, Kin!
Inner Demon is huge!
Oh my god! Oh, where did the Fire Blast go? Is it a minion? Plot twist! He loses the giant! Or he could get it back. Very likely to get
Animations! Animations! Come
it
on,
back.
we
Dear
gotta go!
lord! Hello?
Deadly Poison
10
doesn't work.
damage? Oh yeah, it's not a weapon. Doesn't work.
I'm almost out of cards.
You block!
Burning so many cards!
I'm out of cards.
So many
It's just
cards!
fatiguing. It's just fatiguing. It's over. It's over. Kin has this. Kin has this in the bag.
Oh my
Take a deep breath
God.
and the giant face. I feel like I've run a marathon here.
Just think how Kin feels here. He was fighting back and forth here, game after game, turn after turn there in that final match. Solarian, box. It was such a hard-fought battle, and he has won the series. Whether or not he's safe from relegation is another question entirely here, because we're going down to tiebreakers now. Alutemu, Rivius, Kin. We need to do the numbers because we don't want to 100% say that any of the players is relegated out at this point. But if there was any chance for Kin to survive and stay for another season in Grandmasters, that had to be a win, and somehow he got it.
It's so huge. It means Kin and Alutemu, I believe, are both at 2 and 4 match score now, and a lot will be decided by the other matches that they play this weekend. We can't speak in absolutes, and I can hardly speak at all, Derek. That match just blew my mind.